Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. We've talked to everyone here in the boat. ISO's still not talking to us until we do her job. So that just leaves Gobbet here. Let's see what she has to say. Gobbet glances up at the sound of your approach, and a slight smile crosses her face. Hey, pal. She puts her hands on her hips, sending madness scurrying. Are you ready for your next lesson? Absolutely. Hit me with it. Straight to business. She nods appreciatively. I like that. Good. This one is about people like Auntie Chang and why we need them. There won't be a Q&A session after this story, but I want you to listen up. It's important. I'm all ears. Alright, so here's the upfront lesson. Pictures are important. You can't just go to a Johnson yourself and get a job. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. It's a bad idea all around. Okay, go on. The reason why it's a bad idea to cut people like Auntie Chang out is because you need someone to vet your clients. That's important because it protects the whole team. She takes in a breath and lets it out slowly. You remember the lesson from last time? The one about Sui and the shiny object? Yeah? Well, after the run was over, we went back to the sinking ship for some R&R. Sui had told us that the client would be sending a boat to collect the shiny object in the morning. All that we had to do was keep the thing safe until the handoff. We were in a celebratory mood. We'd killed an evil wizard and stolen a priceless artifact. Good night's work by anyone's standards. Hanu and Egret got good and drunk in record time, and Sui went back to his cabin with the shiny object to, I don't know, stare at it for a while or something. I retired to my cabin and crashed out. It had been a long night. I remember waking up to sounds. Yelling, maybe? I was groggy and they were far away. I couldn't quite make them out. The clock said 4:30 a.m. People were always partying on the raft, playing loud music, shooting off fireworks, that kind of thing. So loud noises early in the morning weren't unusual, but something felt off somehow. How so? It's hard to describe. A queasy feeling in the pit of my stomach and an elevated heartbeat. Rapid, shallow breaths. It was a lot like a panic attack, really. Not the kind of thing that you can sleep through. So I got up to investigate. If something was wrong, I wanted to know, and if it wasn't, I figured that I might as well get in on the party. I stepped out into the hallway and my foot slipped. I came down hard and landed on my ass and found myself sitting in a pool of blood. That's not good. She shakes her head, grimacing. No, it was pretty bad. So it was pretty obvious by this point that something had gone horribly wrong. My first thought that it was the shiny object might have, I don't know, unleashed something. After what I saw it do in that warehouse, I wouldn't have been surprised. I shook that off pretty quick, though. I knew what this was. Our client was playing us. He'd hired us to steal the thing, and rather than paying us for the job, he'd send another team to take it away. So what did you do? And I got up and beeline for Malvina's cabin. She was the closest thing to the sinking ship had to a leader and the strongest rat shaman on the raft. Now that makes sense because she'd be the strongest person to get for help. If the raft was under attack, that's probably what I would have done too. Yeah, seemed like the right thing at the time. If there was a retrieval team coming for the shiny object, they were strong enough to handle Sui while he was holding it. What chance would I have had of stopping them on my own? I figured that it was time to bring out the big guns, and Malvina was the one who I could get them from. I passed some pretty bad stuff on my way down to Malvina's cabin. It was old man Zhu Yong's vault all over again. The torn up bodies, the blood-streaked floors. I saw people who'd been cut apart with machetes, scorch marks on the container walls. She bites her lip, grimacing at the unpleasant memories stewing in her head. Deep down in the pit of my gut, I could feel the thrumming vibration of the shiny object, that heartbeat feeling that I had in the warehouse, and it was back, and stronger than ever. Whatever that rock was, it was awake. Did you make it to Malvina's cabin? Yes. I burst through the door all ready to spread the news, and someone smashed a gun into my face. It was Cadmus, my friend. He jammed the muzzle of his super warhawk into my cheek so hard it hurt, then grabbed me by the belt with his other hand. I wasn't going anywhere. Just over his shoulder, I saw Malvina, and she didn't look amused. Did they think that you were in on the attack somehow? Yeah, only it wasn't an attack. Our client had nothing to do with it. Turns out there was no client. Sui had lied to us, and by helping to steal the shiny object, I'd unwittingly giving him what he needed to foment a mutiny. She pauses for a moment, gathers her rats in her hands, and lifts them to her shoulders. They scurry over the leather of her coat and disappear into her hair. As it turns out, betrayal hurts, Seattle. Malvina felt it, and I felt it too. Sui had been a friend. I just risked my life to save his like 4 hours ago, and he tricked me into helping him do something unthinkable. So what did you do? What could I do? I didn't have a whole lot of options, and Cadmus was kind of on edge, like red-faced and screaming. So I opened my mouth, and I fast-talked my way out of it. I started off by doubling down on my loyalty to Malvina, Cadmus, and the status quo on the sinking ship, swearing my undying friendship. You know the drill. I did a good job of it, but they still looked a little iffy. Iffy with a warhawk is bad, so I volunteered to prove myself by stealing the shiny object back from Sui. Well, that follows, I guess. I mean, he only had it because of you, right? That was the idea, yeah. I mean, I didn't have a choice. I inadvertently helped arm the bastard who was tearing our friends and neighbors apart. I don't think I could have cleared my name without taking his weapon away again. It was a hell of a night, and I don't want to get into too many of the gory details. Friends died. Hell, friends killed each other. It was brother against brother, all that jazz. And Sui's indiscriminate use of the shiny object led a lot of things in this world that shouldn't have been. Did you get a good view of them this time? Yeah. I wish that I hadn't, but I did. I don't really know how to describe the things. They were like animals, but wrong. Too many tails, bones in the wrong places, huge open sores, that kind of thing. They were spirits manifested in physical form, I think. Most of them took the form of rats, swarms of insects, rotting things, all of the old pestilence tropes. Sometimes there were colonies of the things, all tangled together and moving as one. Not the sort of thing that I want to see again. Ever. So anyway, long story short, I got the shiny object back from Sui. It wasn't easy, but I got it. How'd you manage that? Lies and misdirection, trickery. Rat helped. Some of the things that Sui let loose actually came in handy. He'd summoned so many of them that he couldn't hope to control them all, and that gave me an opening to use them to my advantage. I managed to trick my way past Sui's supporters and the astral menagerie that he'd summoned. Wasn't easy, but I did it. Then I stole the shiny object, and all was right with the world. And yeah, I'm intentionally glossing over the details. I had to do some things that I'm not proud of, and people died because of it. But I got the damn thing, and I got it back to Malvina. So what happened then? Long story short, Malvina put the shiny object to better use than Sui ever did. She took to the thing like she'd grown up using it. We still lost dozens of people, but Sui's side lost more. Cadmus was critically wounded, but he pulled through. After the skirmish, Malvina held an assembly. She told everyone that there'd be new rules for life on the raft. Anyone who refused to follow them could leave, and if you broke them, you were done. The rules of the sea and all that. After the pronouncement, she turned on the surviving mutineers. Hanu was one of them. He'd been in on Sui's plan the whole time. She didn't kill them, but she did exile them from the sinking ship. And for people in our economic bracket, that was as good as a one-way trip to the walled city. I'd be willing to bet that they're all dead by now. In the wake of Malvina's ultimatum, 5 survivors left the sinking ship. I was one of them. Why did you leave? I had to go. We may have washed the blood off the decks, but the energy of the sinking ship had changed. It wasn't the carefree haven that I loved anymore. And as sensible as Malvina's rules were, I wasn't up to living under them. We parted on good, but sad terms, and as you'd expect, we drifted apart over the years. It's funny, I hadn't even thought of Malvina or the sinking ship in years, not until I decided to teach you your previous lesson, and it all came flooding back in. She pauses and turns to you. That's the story. It's finished. But I want to circle back on the lesson that I gave you up front because it's important. We need Auntie Cheng to bring us work. That's obvious. But we also need her to keep us honest, to be sure that we, on the team, are playing straight with one another. Auntie Cheng's reputation rides on the legitimacy of the jobs that she brings us, and that, more than anything, is why we need her. If we didn't have Auntie Cheng or someone like her, we'd eventually tear ourselves apart. It happened on the sinking ship, and it could happen again in Hawaii. So, anyway, that's the lesson. If you got follow-up questions, go ahead and ask them. What did Malvina do with the shiny object? Well, first she used it to get rid of the things that Sui had let loose, then she put it away for safekeeping. It's probably still there on the sinking ship, in some shrine or other, held under lock and key. Well, at least she's keeping it safe. She shrugs. I'd have preferred if she ditched the thing, but in the end, that wasn't my choice to make. From what I've heard, she's still in power over there, so I guess that it worked out okay. And Sui? What happened to him? That walking colostomy bag was already dead, eaten by his own monsters after I took the shiny object away. Turns out he wasn't much good at controlling them without it. Her voice fills with grim satisfaction. Didn't even live long enough to watch his mutiny fail. Wow. Any thoughts about that last run? It always surprises me how much corporations will pay to screw up competitors' feng shui. Hell, they'll even take each other to court over architecture that blocks ki. It has real impact, though. A little shift here and there might not seem like much, but even fractions of a penny lost on their stock value is millions. Gobbet shrugs, pursing her lips. I could see us change the flow of ki in that building, but I still have no idea how to make it work for me. You need a real specialist for that, like a Taoist priest or something. Based on what I could see, though, I think Wu Jing's fortunes will wane at least for the time being. They'll fix what we broke, eventually, but until then, there may be a rash of stubbed toes. And that's pretty much it from Gobbet. Cool deal. Sure. And Seattle, thanks for listening. These lessons are for your benefit, but I think that they help me too. And it's nice to be taken seriously every now and again. No problem, Gobbet. I look forward to the next one. Her face lights up. Yeah, me too. Now get a move on. I've got Gobbet things to do. Indeed. Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and catch some shut-eye, and then we will determine what we're going to do for our next job. A stabbing pain in your stomach jolts you awake. Your entire abdomen is cramping up. You roll in your cot, willing the shooting pains that radiate from your stomach to go away. Your mouth is bone dry and your tongue is swollen. It feels thick and articulate, like a useless slab of meat. A quick glance at your PDA tells you that it's 4 a.m. Outside of your cabin, the rest of Hawaii sleeps. All that you remember of the dream that you awoke from is a horrible, unfulfilled yearning, and a need to get where you were going first. Others were behind you. You could feel the heat of their breath on your neck. If you were to beat them to your destination, you could slam the door in their faces, keep them out and away from what was yours. But if they overtook you, you would feel that terrible longing forever. As you grasp at your last fleeting memories of the dream, a wave of exhaustion washes over you. It feels like you've been drugged. You collapse back into your cot and into the black, dreamless sleep. When you open your eyes again, the sun filters in under your door. It's morning. Fun? And let's make sure that all the dialogue options are still there. Okay, nothing good new from Gun Show. So now we need to decide what job we're going to take, guys. We have ISO's job, and we also have Auntie Cheng's friend. So I'm not exactly sure what we need to do. That one seems particularly significant, so I think would be a good time to go ahead and take ISO's job. So let's open the jobs directory, look that up. There we go. And we've seen this one already with the rhombus and such. Alright, let's take the run. The pre-recorded footage of Isobel winks off the screen. A real-time feed of her Matrix avatar replaces it. Excellent. I knew that I could count on you. Saddle up, Sean. This is going to be fun. Those are some famous last words. Okay. Well then, actually, head to DeckCon 2056 for Isobel's job. So we're heading to the con. First off, let's see if our... Oh, we can't claim any pay data. Oh well. Still being processed, I guess. Or no, we picked it up, didn't we? I don't remember. Oh well. Now let's go ahead and head over here. And start the Isobel job. This should be fun. Probably a lot of con references to culture and such. And let's see what we got here. Transit to Kai Tak to board a chartered bus to DeckCon. Now we've got Isobel must be present, indeed. So we'll add ISO. And let's grab... Gobbet was there this time, and I don't think we're going to be using a whole lot of casting. So let's go with Duncan. Oh! Okay, so we haven't had a chance to... Okay, so we only needed 3. Yeah, let's have Duncan come along with us. We haven't used Gun Show in a while. So that gives us far away combat, close combat, and decking skills. Let's do it. Make sure my spells and whatnot are going to be in order. And I don't know. In terms of my leveling, I gotta decide what my priorities are going to be. DeckCon 2056. A chartered bus carries you from Kai Tak to a mid-range hotel in Sun Wan. Around you, the happy chatter of your fellow passengers fills your ears. You hear tech speak in a variety of languages and dialects. Talk about new lines of drones and decks, arguments over innovations in data jack technology, and baseless speculation about the next season of Urban Brawl. Your guest badge, a glossy slip of laminated paper emblazoned with a flashy logo, hangs on a lanyard around your neck. Your ticket into the convention hall, and the only disguise that you should need. The boss drops you in front of the Harbor Spires Hotel, and you promptly circle back to find a service entrance. Isobel should be waiting for you inside. Alrighty. So the only spell, we had the Nerve Strike, which is not a big deal. We've got the rest of this, which should be more than adequate. So let's head to the con. I like the fact that we're doing the con thing. The service entrance to the Harbor Spires Hotel looks like any other. Scuffed walls coated in chipped paint, a floor of well-worn hardwood, a time card reader hanging from the wall at a slight tilt. Nothing about the dingy, utilitarian confines of the room that you're in hints at the elegance and fine decor of the hotel beyond. Reminds me of that dump we squatted in back at Bear Creek, the motel with the raccoon problem. Little bastards kept me up half the night, every night. I swear that one of them was eyeballing me. Your earpiece crackles to life. ISO, calling from the woman's lavatory. Sean? A burst of static fills your ear, obliterating ISO's voice. A second later, she cuts back in. You in position? I'm here, yeah. You're kind of breaking up, though. Yeah, I know. More white noise. Connection here is crap. The comms keep cutting out. This doesn't bode well. Aren't you going to be giving us instructions over the comm? Yeah, hang on a sec. Nate, try to boost our signal The sound cuts out entirely for a good 5 seconds. When ISO's voice comes back, it's half again as loud as it was before. There, that's better. What a pain in the ass this is. There's way too much interference coming from the show floor. We aren't going to be able to rely on our comm links for this. I'll find us a workaround. Well, I hope you do it fast. This entire plan hinges on our being able to communicate. Like I said, I'll find a workaround. For now, let's concentrate on the task at hand. The catering staff should be all in the kitchen, hauling trays of steamed clams and whatnot out to the convention hall floor. I'm going to need you to find a way to get me one of their uniforms, one that'll fit someone my size. Find a dwarf-sized catering uniform. Check. I'm on it. Good. Oh, and Sean, we aren't going loud yet. Got it? Whatever you do, don't start shooting. We can't afford to send Rhombus running before we can get him cornered. Right. No shooting until we have Rhombus. Got it. They said nothing about punching, though. Alright, here's an alarm panel. This panel controls simple building maintenance and safety features. While the panel's admin-level user interface has been locked away behind a biometric fingerprint reader, a skilled decker could easily bypass such a restriction. Well, unfortunately, we do not have one here. View archived work manifest logs. Huang millions. The damn sprinklers went off again. The entire kitchen was flooded, and Chef Bun quit. We're going to have to go with third-party caterers for the big event this weekend, because we sure as hell can't steam a few thousand clams without any kitchen staff. View work manifest logs. Oh, same thing. Okay. Interesting. Send drone into vent. Man, I don't have any of the things that we need. Knock, knock. The Harbor Spire's kitchens are a whirlwind of activity. Attractive 20-somethings in white catering uniforms dash in and out of the room, their arms laden with heaping trays of steaming shellfish. One man stands still amidst the chaos, the eye of the storm. His white coat is at least half again whiter than those of his subordinates, and his collar starched as stiff as a board. The floor manager notices you, and his eyes narrow. He stalks towards you, practically frothing at the mouth. You can't help but notice the embroidered corporate logo on his lapel. Pastry, magic, and more. Fine catering. The image is completed by a stylized rendering of what appears to be a frolicking kitten standing astride a pair of shooting stars. You! What are you doing in my kitchen? He glances at your chest, sees the visitor badge hanging from the lanyard that Isobel gave you dangling around his neck. Convention goers are not allowed beyond the show floor. Let's see here. I have no corporate or socialite etiquette. Oh. I really like your uniform. Could I buy one for my daughter? He stares at you. You want to buy one of our uniforms? Yeah, an extra small one, if you got it. I think she'd love that kitten logo. His mouth tightens. It isn't a kitten. It's supposed to be a celestial tiger. Looks like a kitten to me. He hangs his head low, color creeping into his cheeks. Yeah, I know. I keep telling our graphic designer, but he never listens. You want a uniform? 500 new yen. Pay up or get out. Well... yeah, why not? He jerks his head toward a door in the corner room. It's in the ready room over there. The kitchen manager clicks a button on his wrist and the door slides open and he smiles proudly. Remote system. To help servers with full hands. That's a pretty sweet piece of gear there. It is, actually. The hotel doesn't just hand these things out, you know. Most other catering companies would never get their hands on one. Now grab your uniform and get out of my hair, alright? We're busy here. Indeed. Alrighty. So, pick up uniform, dwarf-sized. It cost us some money, but it's okay. Now, give Isobel the kitchen uniform. Looks like we have to head this way. Guys are doing a great job. Ah, cool. Oh, this is the full-out convention floor. How cool is this? Should we do a little bit of exploring before we go show this to ISO? Check this out. All kinds of kiosks. I wonder if I was a decker, if I could actually talk to some of these people. Perfect persona. As technology. Uh-oh. Had a lot of fun with them before in Shadowrun. Actually, in both of the previous Shadowrun games. Looks like we'll probably have to head over there. And she's hanging out in the women's bathroom. Let's check the men's real quick, though. Oh, hello there. Shady man. A sketchy-looking man in a long, shabby coat stands in the middle of the bathroom floor, teetering on his feet. He blinks at you through red-rimmed eyes crusted over with sleep. Hey there, are you, He checks the screen on his PDA. The Imperator? Because if you are, I, got your stuff. Yep, that's me. Great. He lifts an overstuffed plastic shopping bag. Hey, you want to see the whole stock, or you just want to buy the items that we discussed? Well, just give me what... Well, let's see the full stock. Ah, yes, the drug guy. Just give me what we agreed on, I guess. Alright, I ought to warn you though, HyperX ain't cheap. He extends his bag and opens it wide. Down at the bottom, buried under a mountain of loose pills, is a shiny plastic bottle. It's the bottle. You're gonna have to fish it out if you want it, and, be careful. I think there are a few loose needles in there. Oh, no thank you. I think we're good. What? Why not? He scowls at you. Fine, it doesn't matter. Someone else will buy. Someone always does. Now, get lost. Yeah, that... No. That's bad times right there. And that is... not where I came... Okay, that is where I came in. Alright. Hello there, ISO. You enter the woman's restroom and find ISO waiting impatiently for you. Her guest badge dangles from its lanyard on a canted angle, and the clumped ropes of her hair look frazzled. At the sight of you, she steps forward. You're here. Good. I was getting tired of hanging out in the ladies' room. You have the uniform? There you go. She eyes the embroidery on the logo, nodding. Good. This'll work. Alright, I'm going to change in this thing and hightail it to the employees-only door at the far side of the convention hall. They'll let me in, even without a badge. They'll just figure that some rich guy wants a drink. Where's the VIP area? On the other side of the convention floor. I'll have to cross the show floor to do it, but that should be safe enough. Nobody pays attention to the catering staff at these things, which is actually very true. So I'll make my way across, pass through the door, and take the elevator up to the admin wing on the 6th floor. All that you need to do is take your position and wait for my instructions without raising an alarm. Pretty simple stuff. Should be foolproof, assuming that you don't screw anything up. Do you have any questions? Have you figured out what you're going to do about that spotty comlink connection? Yes, there's a demo kiosk near the VIP entrance. It's running some new Matrix avatar editing suite or something like that. The software is called Perfect Persona. When I get to the admin area, I'm going to patch myself into the Perfect Persona console, and we're going to communicate through that. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it beats having to deal with a dropped connection. Just be sure to grab the kiosk when you're in position. Don't let anyone else get to it. So what should I do between when you leave and when you get into position? Walk the show floor, mingle, try to look like you belong here. Just try not to say or do anything that'll stand out in a bad way. You're supposed to be a hot new decker in town. Try to act the part. And what am I supposed to do on the show floor again? Wait by the VIP area door. When I identify Rhombus, you'll apprehend him and tell him that he's lucky winner of a complimentary VIP pass upgrade. You'll escort him through the VIP doors into a room that I'll have empty and waiting. Then we'll get all the software from him together, beat him up, and stash him in a closet. Fair enough. Let's hit it. Cool deal. Well, looks like we are going to go mingle on the con floor and have a little bit of fun here, guys, and hopefully ISO's plan works. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.